Well, we're on the cusp of the NBA play-in versus the play-off. The NBA, for those of you who don't watch the NBA, which is mostly black players, it's unpopular very with baseball fans, but then there are no baseball fans anymore. Baseball is the lowest watched sport in of any major sport there is. It's at 27%, pretty low. But the NBA is up there along with the NFL, and but you can't see the black players in the NFL because they all have uniforms on. It's hard to see their faces. Not in hockey; they're all covered up and they're all white. In fact, the joke in hockey is if you're black. There's only one black player that I know of in hockey. The joke is on the sidelines. The fans say, "Basketball, basketball," because he's black. A little bit of racism there, folks. Anybody guilty of that? If you play basketball, you don't like basketball, you don't like to watch it. Well, some people like college basketball. Many people do. But a lot of people don't like pro basketball. I like basketball because they're athletes playing. I like to watch athletes play a game. It's not fun to watch overweight golfers go out there and swing at a little bitty white ball and chase it on green grass and watch the grass grow. But I used to play golf. It wasn't bad. I was driver putt in my better day of playing golf. But politics get in the way of everything. And when Minnie is looking for Mickey, and the teacher says, "I gotta go see my kids," and the kids in the classroom say, "So what are you gonna do? You and your wife going to go away on vacation? We're going on vacation. Where are you going to go with your wife?" Well, the teacher says, "Well, we're going to go somewhere, not sure where." And one of the kids says, "Are you married to a woman?" And the teacher says, "Well, I'm not allowed to say what I'm married to. Our governor says I don't have that freedom to say what my personal relationships are." And the kid says, "Oh, you mean you're not supposed to say gay? Is that because you're gay? Are you gay, Mr. Teacher? Mr. Smith, are you gay, Mr. Smith?" "Mr. Smith, are you not going to answer the question?" "Well, we're going to talk about something else. Tell us about your time when you come back. You guys come back after vacation. Tell us your best story you can tell." So the other kid says he's not going to tell whether he's gay or not. "Oh, well, who cares? We're only in third grade. Or are we in fifth? We're not sure what we are." So it's a problem. What does a teacher do? He's taught to teach a subject, not about somebody's idea of what somebody's gender is, and call that teaching. But you have a governor that thinks he can tell people what to do, what to say, what to think. That's all right, I guess, if you don't want your children to know anything beyond what parents can teach. Obviously, some people think that homeschooling is better anyway, because then you can control what the kids know or think, and they can't change anything that you've taught. You can't be changed by a teacher about anything that the parents know or don't know. So basically, you can de-educate your children by keeping them confined to what they knew when they were 5 years old and never grow beyond that. So that's kind of what happens when you censor people. We're educated to teach a subject, to know about a subject. That's what power does. People use and abuse power. And we have a governor who thinks he can use that to get reelected or maybe get elected to president. Because if you align yourself with people who don't believe in rights, then you've got a really powerful man that can ignore Congress, can ignore the voting system, can ignore anything called democracy, and just do what you want. But that's what happens when America gives its democracy away. And they do that in different ways. Because you've heard people say at CPAC 3 weeks ago, well, date that was early late March, early February, early April, that Putin is a genius, and the genius is just murdering the hell out of the poor Ukrainians who simply wanted their own government, but with a free election. Well, those are Republicans, and for whatever's wrong with the Republicans, whatever's wrong with the Democrats, certainly is worse when you have Americans supporting somebody who acts like Hitler. And, bombing the hell out of people that's exactly what happened in World War II. Hitler, Nazis bombed the hell out of Russia. It's called Stalingrad. 2 years they bombed Stalingrad till it was nothing but rubble. And the Germans got themselves so trapped, and Hitler wouldn't let them leave. They starved themselves. Supply lines to the German soldiers dried up, and the German soldiers literally starved to death, and they lost the war. Maybe that's going to happen, something like that, with the Russians in Ukraine, because the Ukrainian people aren't going to quit, like the Russians didn't quit against the Germans. But that's a little bit of stuff. Coming back to Florida, Florida is getting a lot of people moving in. And you got a war between Disney, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and Governor Desantis Mouse. So the mouse has the house. And will Disney yield to the governor? I don't think so. It's the biggest employer in all of Florida. A lot of people don't realize that. Disney World in Florida is the biggest employer in all of Florida. So I think they have a lot to say politically, economically, and everything else. And jobs matter. And Disney hires a lot of people. But it's a fun world. It's a Disney World. What's the song go? It's a nice world after all. Da, 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 da. Just believe, and you'll be a Disney World. You'll take your children to Disney World, ride all the rides. Life will be fun forevermore. Anyway, I'm not a good singer here, but it is a delight to go to Disney, or was. Maybe we'll have special instructions handed out when you buy your ticket, what you can say and what you can, and by order of our governor. Um, Florida is a great place to come to. Obviously, people are moving here. One last thing. Why are they moving? Well, California is burning up. It's a desert, maybe. The grain, it's the biggest food basket for vegetables and nuts in the country, and maybe once in the world. But the Colorado River is drying up, and it's drying up as far as Texas is concerned. And the Texas drought is killing off the beef and the cattle, just like it is in California. The drought is killing, and the price of everything is going up, and up, because those shortages cannot be made up, not easily. So we're in a very curious time. We've got politics mixed with economics. The pandemic is still hanging around. This current White House has got a number of people down with it, surviving somehow. This one isn't as serious maybe as the others, but at the same time, the country is going through a drought in the West, including Texas, a shortage of water there. And where is the biggest water source in the United States? The Great Lakes. And the day will come in Florida, Sarasota, and areas like this will also have a water issue. And there's always rumbling of that happening sooner than later. Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. But don't think about it too long. The housing bubble won't bust. Well, maybe it will. Maybe it will. We shall see. Price of housing is too high and getting higher. If you got cash, it's your place. If you don't, you've lost the bid. But come to Florida, come to Sarasota, and find out. Have a great day. On the way to coming here, stop at Disney World. See if you can figure out which sex Mickey is and what Minnie is. Is it skirt or is it something else? If they're wearing a skirt, they must be female, right? But then you never know. Just don't say gay.